Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Working Trader, where we look at the Euro USD and GBPUSD and come up with trade ideas for the day, if there are any. So let's jump right into it. Looking at Forex Factory, today's a Monday, so usually, as expected, on a Monday we do not have any high impact news. And then tomorrow, Tuesday, we don't have any news concerning the USD, and we do have something on the pound. And Wednesday for the pound, I think that's the most important, where we have CPI. And Wednesday as well for the USD, that's where we have FOMC meeting minutes. So this will be interesting to see what the markets will do in response to that. And then, of course, we have the rest of the week. Thursday, unemployment claims. I would say we don't have news there, or we don't have much to expect. And then Friday, Friday retail sales for the pound. That's more medium impact news. So all of these are sort of medium impact news for the pound. And then same as for the USD, where we have GDP as well, and services PMI. All these are medium impact news events in the grand scheme of things. Okay, so looking at the charts, let's see what happened last week on Friday, and then looking ahead. So as you can see from the daily candles on the Euro USD, well, price didn't do much, is it? Price is just consolidating. Okay, so right now there is a lot of indecision. So price is just so this was Thursday and this was Friday. So price just creating these small dodgy candles. So it's preparing for a move, that's for sure. Price is preparing for a move. So we'll have to wait and see once we break out of this range. So we might take out the low first. If we take out the low first, then it might be a signal that price is willing to now go up. Okay, the price is now willing to go up. Okay, and then if we take out the high first, okay, if we go on and take out the high, then maybe price may come back down inside the range. Okay, price may come back inside the range. Remember, from a swing and internal perspective, we are still very much bullish on the Euro USD. Okay, we're still very much bullish on the Euro USD. So we're just being aware that we are still bullish. So from here, we might break out, right, to just sweep these lows and then continue bullish. And then if we start by breaking out to the high side, then we may have a pullback, all right, to then continue bullish. Okay, so the bias is definitely bullish, right? So we are more focused on long trades, right? It doesn't mean that you cannot take short positions intraday. Okay, you definitely can, all right, on the lower time frames. So speaking of which, let's look at the 4H. So looking at the 4-hour, this is our swing range. I think this one. Let me do that. So looking at our swing range, okay, this is our week. This is our week swing high. This is our strong internal low. So the swing is all the way down here. Okay, this is our strong swing all the way down there, and then this was our swing break, and then this is where the high which was created to start this pullback. Okay, so on the 4-hour we are in this pullback phase. Okay, we are in this pullback phase. Right now, as you can see, price is just consolidating inside this range. Okay, price is just consolidating inside this range. Okay, so we'll have to wait and see what price does next. Okay, and then make decisions afterwards. And then let's look at the 1-hour. So looking at the 1-hour, this is our internal 1-hour range, which is bullish. Okay, we've just had a bullish break of structure internally. And then this, of course, our swing is bearish. Okay, our swing is bearish. So this is our strong swing high. So the way I'm looking at this is we have liquidity that's resting here, trendline liquidity. We have relatively equal highs right there. So it's likely that eventually price would then need to target these areas upwards. Okay, price will eventually need to target those areas upwards. However, it's possible that price could come down. Okay, sweep these areas first and then look to go up. This is also kind of trend line, so we could sweep these areas, maybe have a reaction and then start pushing up. Okay, so that's all. These are possible scenarios of what price could do, but right now, because price is simply ranging inside a range, there's not much we can do about it, so we just have to wait until price actually breaks out of the range, and then you can have an idea of what to do. But of course, on the smaller time frames, short term, so today I'll do something I haven't done. So this would be my analysis for intraday. Okay, so if you're interested in intraday trades, let me know in the comments, and then I'll see if I can switch from the higher time frame outlook and then focus more on the lower time frames. Okay, we'll be looking maybe at the 15 minutes, maybe going down, so that we have, trade ideas on the lower time frames. But this is what I'll be looking at. So the range that we're talking about, as you can see, this is the range. So I'm expecting all of this to be liquidated, and then I do have this supply zone right there at the top. Okay, where I'll be expecting that if price comes up, all right, maybe sweeps, if it eventually arrives here, takes out this resting liquidity at the top, maybe mitigate this POI, then we might have a reaction, and then you might look for trades maybe on the 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. You might get a quick 1 to 2, 1 to 3 trades from there. Okay. And then maybe in the meantime, I'm looking at this as resting liquidity, right? So price may take this and then have a strong reaction. So you might get a trade just from this area up here, after this liquidity has been taken, and then maybe targeting these lows or this low down there. Okay, and on the 1 minute, that could be a very good trade, 1 to 5, 1 to 6, 1 to 8, who knows. Okay, so these would be things that I'll be looking at personally on my personal trading. Okay, so but for the most part, I think for this channel, I'll stick to just doing the general analysis, general outlook from the daily to the 1 hour. Okay. All right. So looking at the pound dollar. Okay. Looking at the pound dollar, we do have a break of structure. Okay. So kind of similar thing. Friday for the pound was a bit more reactive compared to the Euro USD. Remember on Friday we had CPI. Okay, so we were expecting a lot of volatility, and hoping that maybe that was the news event that was going to start pushing price to the upside. Okay, targeting the week highs. However, yes, on the smaller time frames, 1 minute to 5 minute, there was a lot of movement. But as you can see on the higher time frames, this was just a small candle. Okay, so there wasn't much movement there. Okay, so the outlook is still the same. We are bullish internal, bullish swing. We had breaks of structure. We are in this pullback phase, and then price is reacting to this fractal supply that was created. Now we haven't had a very strong reaction. Okay, but nonetheless we are reacting from it. Okay, so it is possible price could continue, to continue going down. Okay, maybe take out these lows, maybe mitigate these demand areas which are in discount, okay, of this swing range. Okay, that's a possibility. Okay, else we may just sweep these relatively equal lows, sweep that, and then shift bullish. Okay, have another shift bullish, and then we continue. So look at this way. From this pullback phase, the market hasn't shifted bullish. Okay, so this is our fractal high right there. So from a fractal standpoint, we are still bearish. Okay, so that means the pullback is still in effect. Okay, so up until we have a break of structure of this fractal high, then we can start to consider that we have shifted bullish, and price is now ready to go for that weak swing high. Okay, so looking at the 4 hour. So looking at the 4 hour. So our 4 hour swing, that's our last break of structure, and this is our weak swing high. And then we've had our pullbacks. Okay, we've had our pullbacks, and then right now this is our internal range that we are in at the moment. We mitigated the extreme of the internal range, and then we had a strong reaction. This was NFP. Okay, it's getting messy. This was NFP right there, and then the expectation was that on CPI on Friday, then it may reverse and then actually push price up to break this internal bearish range. However, CPI didn't do much. Okay, just had this small reaction from CPI, and that was it. Okay, so at the moment nothing is very clear. So the expectation is that because we are respecting the bearish swing range, so price could continue to go down, maybe towards this week internal low. Okay, and then so looking at the 1 hour. So looking at the 1 hour, let's see. So from the 1 hour, our swing is bullish. Okay, this was our last swing, and then that's where we had our break of structure, and I didn't see any of these to deem them as swing ranges. So I'll just consider them as internal ranges. Okay, so this is where we had our internal break of structure. Okay, and then second one, and then this is our internal range at the moment. Okay, so our internal range is also the same as our 4-hour internal range. All right, so zooming in and focusing on this, I think on Friday I was anticipating and I was saying that this low is going to go. Okay, however, price just respected it, and then price has now shifted bullish. Okay, on the 1 hour, price has shifted bullish, so we have our sub internal breaks of structure. However, all of this is substructure which is internal to the internal range. Okay, so it may be a bit tricky to navigate at the moment. Okay, it may be a bit tricky to navigate at the moment. So on the 1 hour, again, there's not much really to look at, so we'll probably have to wait until we have clear breaks of structure. Okay, either we break structure to the downside, or so which may be likely to happen once we clear these highs. Okay, so if we clear these highs, right, depending on how we clear them, so we may clear those and then have a bit more momentum to come down. Okay, and then maybe finally take out this low. Okay, and then targeting this weak area down there. If not, then we may first, because this is still being respected, so we may see price maybe take out this, all right, and then come back into the range, maybe at a newly created demand area, and then continue bullish before it finally takes out this area. Okay, to realign with the 4-hour and the daily, which are bullish. Okay, so I think that's the outlook for today, and then we'll see going forward what else is presented. But other than that, that's it from me. So please have a good day, and do remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you're finding value with this material. So have a good day, and Working Trader out.